Okay. Ooh. Oh, no, I don't like this story. Okay, how many of y'all watched The Mandalorian? If you watched The Mandalorian, just give me an M in the comments. If you watch The Mandalorian, give me an M in the comments. So in the first season of The Mandalorian, there was an actress by the name of Gina Carano in there. Gina Carano, she originally started off as an MMA fighter, and she made her way into movies. Uh, but a few years ago, she was fired in 2021. She was fired from the show and from Disney after she posted a controversial social media message treated that said that conservatives in the United States, meaning people who are, the far right, were basically their persecution was kind of just well along the lines of what the Jews suffered in the Holocaust. So again, this woman in Hollywood, where Hollywood, a lot of the executives are Jewish, she said that conservatives, political conservatives in the United States are treated kind of like Jewish people in the Holocaust, right? And of course, everybody. I feel like George Lucas, is he Jewish? I don't know. Anyway, all the people of Lucasfilm are like, hold up, we don't vibe with that. That's not what we're about. That's what she said. And then they fired her, right? So she sued them for wrongful termination and also discrimination, um, because she's like, you know, it's my social media. I can talk to who I want. Funny enough, her lawsuit was funded by Elon Musk, but it brings up the question of where does your personal life and your private life, I mean, where does your private life or your personal life and your professional life, that line between the two has become very blurry, especially with social media. We see all the time where people who do things that aren't considered very popular on the internet, people go and they find where they work and they write their employers and they try and get them fired, right? And sometimes it works because employers, they are worried about the behavior of their employees casting a dark shadow on that of the company. But you still have to be careful because your employees are still entitled to a private life. They're entitled to their personal opinions. Now, if they're out here being crazy, and breaking the law, yeah, you can there's steps there. But if they're just expressing an opinion, it can be considered discriminatory. So Gina Carano, she filed a lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilms, and I think she won. They've come to a settlement, and I guess Lucasfilm, they're like, we're open to working with her again, but I just don't think that, like, it's just like if you got fired from a job, right, and you sued the job and then you got a settlement from the job, would you want to get that job back? I wouldn't. But who knows? I'm not. I mean, yeah. If it's Hollywood, that's a little different. But anyway, um, but who knows? Maybe we will see Gina Carano back in the the Mandalorian if they bring it. But I think, isn't the Mandalorian done? I want to say the Mandalorian is done. What's the next